everybody, it's BB. We got some more medical updates on my cameraman. Alright, for a while he's had restless legs, everyone knows that, but lately he's been having sore, tender feet to where he's not able to just get up, pop up out of a chair like you and I, and walk to the kitchen. Takes him a bit. So, and then he's, for about a couple months, he's been starting with some migraines. They don't last long, but they are starting to show. So he went to the doctor, and everyone keeps saying, oh, you got to be a diabetic. You got to be a diabetic because you got neuropathy. He is not a diabetic by any means. He's not pre-diabetic, nothing. The sugar levels are below mine. So they wanted to go ahead and test him because he's been complaining that he's hurting all the time, achy, sore, stiff. Okay, so the doctor goes and says, we want some blood work done. We're going to check you for lupus. So he comes by at work that day. He shows me the paper. He's like, babe, can you check this out? I said, sure, I'm on it. So I go back in after lunch. I tell my boss, I was like, listen, I need to research this. She's like, okay, well, you know where the books are at. Go do your homework. So as I'm looking for this stuff, and I had a problem with finding one of the tests, so I went back to the processing department and I said, ladies, I need assistance. So they helped me out and asked me what I was looking for and why. So I told them that they were testing him to see if he had lupus. And first thing they said was, has he been sick? And I said, well, we just got diagnosed with prostate cancer. So with that, they said that will trigger a marker. So what they're trying to make sure is that if he does have a marker, that it's not because of the prostate cancer. Again, with his nationality, he is Spanish. A lot of Spanish people, even the girls in the processing said a lot of Spanish people, for whatever reason, have lupus. But they're saying that because the prostate cancer is there, it may have triggered the lupus marker to show. So it's best that we get it checked. And we went over some of it, and with that, they were telling me not to be too concerned because maybe after the prostate cancer is out, and I already know with being a phlebotomist, you got cancer, and going through that myself, you're going to get your blood checked a lot. So they check you for everything. They said that not to stress about it, that even if it did come back that it was lupus, there is medications out there, but not to be too concerned about it because the prostate cancer may have just triggered the marker. So with that, we waited. So once we got the lab report in, I took it back into work. I thought I was reading it right, but I wanted my second opinion with the pros back there. With the 3 tests that they did do, everything come back negative. So they did what is called a Smith antibodies. It come back negative. They did the 70 antibodies, which checks over 150 different autoimmune system disorders. That come back negative. They checked the anti-dsDNA antibodies. That come back negative. So we are all relieved. But like they were also telling me that he's also, now that all it has to do is one time trigger, boom, it's there. Every time he goes for blood work, those tests are most likely going to be run on him to make sure that it's not popping up again. So blood, as I have always said, is an amazing, amazing thing. What they can find in our blood today. So we have one hurdle that we stressed about for about 2 weeks is over. at least initially. So now we just have to worry about getting the cancer out, getting the blood work done all the time, and making sure that he stays as healthy as we possibly can keep him. Like the girls were saying, it's not that it may never pop up at all again, because again, her nationality. But we're all thinking right now at this point that it was just because of the prostate cancer. Like we were discussing at work, anytime you have cancer, they always check your ANA. Even me, sometimes, even though I've been cancer-free for 10 years, they still check it just in case. Yeah, having it checked at least once a year. And now that we know, we're looking at 20 years of being cancer-free. So we know it's going to be checked at least once a year for the next 20 years. And for today's standards, he's still going to be quite young. So that's going to be checked a lot. In other words, if by any chance you have anything abnormal pop up in your blood work, don't freak out about it. Get another blood test done. Maybe a more in-depth like they did for him. And then see where you go. Again, it's just a poke. Get it done. Get your results. Try not to stress about it. Because even if it comes back and it is whatever, then you just got to find a way to deal with it. And we worried ourselves for about 2 weeks, wondering if he had lupus on top of prostate cancer. And luckily, he doesn't have it. So, if you guys have any questions about the blood test, put it in the comment box. Well, I just said what blood test he had. So, but if you need a more specific, detailed blood test, what they're called, then just leave a comment in the comment box and we'll get back with you.